But here's another little trick that I find that is so true, but most of the time we don't talk about it. Often why you don't have passionate people is because there's an obstacle standing between them and the passion they could have. And a lot of times that obstacle is some form of sin in their own life that is the wall that's standing between them and a passionate relationship with God. And so for a lot of this, we have to address, well, what is the sin? Especially in young people. Sean and I have talked about this before because Sean's dad has done so much work on the issue of pornography, even in the church, that is often the thing that stands between. If you have shame about something, and I think it's important for us just to address that. You don't have to address it specifically, but at least to say this, what I just said to you, that hey, some of you in this room are never going to have the kind of passionate relationship you could have with God because you have allowed something to stand between you and Him. And it's usually something that is part of your desire that you have misused. And that the idea of a healthy desire for your spouse is a desire that God champions, but it can be misplaced. And so we want to help young people to see that. Also, just other misplaced priorities. I don't know about you, but when I was a youth pastor, it used to drive me crazy just trying to compete with all the really kind of mundane activities that we put in our kids' lives. Like on a Sunday, it used to be that in our area that nobody would plan a soccer tournament to begin at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday morning. That might begin at 8 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday. But now, I hate to tell you that if there's a tournament over the weekend, they're going to have that thing both days. They're not going to respect those people who want to go to church on Sunday. So now I've got to compete with soccer. I've got to compete with any number of, it might just be I got to compete with the AP program that you've got your kids enrolled in that takes up every minute of their free time or whatever other activity, or it's volleyball camp or whatever it may be. We have got a lot of other priorities that we put out there for our kids that can stand. And by the way, we expect passion in those areas. You can't do those things well if you're not passionate. What's left over for God? God just seems to be the kind of thing we wedge in sideways. So a lot of passion is diminished because we have obstacles. And if we have to help both parents and young people try to eliminate some of those obstacles.